Hi, this is Greg Campbell filming the garden over here. So this is the new xeriscape area that's going in. Mostly Leslie's doing the work. It's a plant we got from the swap, I forget. Anyway, it's doing well. And this is a rose of Sharon that we transplanted. And it's just starting to come in. I guess it didn't like the big 80-degree drop last October. Our little plum tree sitting a little crooked. Compost pile. Most of these things were here before I started gardening, so I'm not really sure what they are except for the feverfew and the Russian sage, juniper. We got grasses that we're putting in, and this is where the other plum tree was that unfortunately died, also probably because of the 80-degree drop. It was just a little tree, so this year I'm putting in some sunflowers that are just starting, and today I also put in pole beans. See, they'll wrap around it. Got oregano, got some basil in the front, volunteer lettuce. Got a hot plant going in up the deck. Up and up it goes. Got our washing station sink, peonies, a few different flowers here, irises, and some other things. I got a couple bushes here. I started from cutting currant bushes. The lovage transplanted in a few weeks ago is really doing well. Got the lilac bush we got from the swap a couple of years ago. Rhubarb I transplanted in. Chives I deadheaded today. More oregano. A hyssop plant, walking onions, and garlic. I got some winter peas growing right over here by the rabbit barrier. Got spring garlic here. Various different flowers I planted along the inside. Got the blackberry bush that we got from the swap last year. Some basil plants, a couple peppers are just, they're not doing real great, these two, but maybe they'll take off yet. Another patch of oregano. We have 3 blackberry bushes there, and behind them are winter peas. We got pretty flowers. They're kind of small peas, but they are definitely edible. These are beans, Cherokee Trail of Tear beans, pole beans. And this is the tomato section here. I guess they're doing okay. Still early. Volunteer Swiss chard. I got Russian kale growing here. That's going to have to come out before the tomatoes get too big. We got Japanese cucumbers doing fairly well. And over here is okra. That's pretty typical of my okra struggling, but we'll see. Maybe it gets hot, it takes off. I don't know. A few more tomatoes. I think the 2 outside ones are yellow pears, and the middle one's a volunteer, so we'll see. It's probably some sort of small tomato. And here's the onions, Australian brown, and I think one other. I have to look up. I have it written down. And behind it, I have a few little bit of leeks that I started directly from seed, and we got more peas here. They're doing pretty good. Just picked a bunch of them. Garlic bed here. Got beets, salad burnet. There's a type of kale, Chinese broccoli. Peppers doing slightly better. A few types of basil here. I think there's lime and lemon, but I'm not really sure. We got volunteer lettuce all over the place, buckwheat. We have lots of creeping thyme all over the place. We got shallots growing here. Then I have, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, other pole beans, Blauhilde, Blauhilde. They're still coming up. Some peas, salad burnet. I believe those flowers are cosmos right here. We got thyme that's in flower. Plenty of lettuce that's getting ready to bolt, but still edible. Got Swiss chard. These are all volunteers. And these are all leeks, kind of small ones. These are a few bigger ones here. Oh, they have a long time to grow yet. I have kale back here. And some pretty lettuce, even though it hasn't really produced that much. And a type of purple bok choy. And I think that is a leek from last year. I keep deadheading it. I don't know why, but that's what I'm doing. We have some Chinese peas here, China red noodle peas. I only put a few in because back there I have watermelon that hopefully takes off. Walking onions that we're moving out. And back here I have Mizuna that's going to seed, and I've been kind of deadhead and just moving this stuff around and see what happens. More shallots. A couple of radishes that have gone to seed, so if I would just use them for pot or just let them spread their seeds around, we'll see what happens. We have more kales here. This whole section of lettuce will be torn out before too long. Some old mustard's going to seed. Yeah, summer kales, or summer squash here. 3 different ones. More of that purple bok choy. Parsley going to seed, and I'll let it. We have tomatillos here. A couple of them are doubles. A couple more in the back. And this lettuce over here was really tasty, so I'll let that go to seed also. I have red oric. And peppers are starting to take off over here. Eggplant doing fair. They didn't look real good when I was growing them inside, but the last week or so they starting to take off. Got more peppers. This one looks like it has some problems. I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully outgrows it. Hopefully it's not some sort of herbicide damage. More peas, and actually these are short plants, but they're producing phenomenal sized peas. And buckwheat. I put buckwheat all over the place. And a couple different flowers here. That's calendula, I believe. In this dirt section, I'm trying to start prairie sunflowers, and I'm not sure if any have come up. I have a few little things growing in there. I don't know what they are yet. And then we have all garlic over here. It's actually getting close to being harvested already. Got lavenders, oregano, sunflowers they're caged in because otherwise the rabbits eat them. Some larkspur, lovage, another thyme that's flowering. I'll probably have to deadhead them all soon so we can start harvesting. Got a tarragon. And we got a few currant bushes here. Snapdragons around. Plenty of lettuce, all volunteer. Looks like it should be a pretty good harvest this year, I think. And this is a gooseberry. It's the tastiest of the fruit bushes that we have. And here I'm trying to do some tip layering. I'll just cut these off out of here pretty soon. Push that dirt aside and see if they've rooted up and transplant them. And here's some bindweed, imagine that. And we have, I don't know what that ground cover is we put in last year. Leslie knows, I forget what it's called. And we got some more of the red Freddy basil. Got dill all over the place. And these onions, I actually all started from seed, just right in the ground, and they seem to be doing better than the ones that I started indoors back in March. So I think in the future I might just start onions all directly in the ground. Sure knows farmers don't start them indoors in March, February. Got shallots growing here. This is the other side of the tomatillos. I forget what this kale is called, but it's caged in a bit here because the rabbits eat it. It's outside the rabbit barrier fence. You got a great big sage plant. This is kind of the wild area a little bit. A lot of herbs going to seed. Parsley, dill, winter savory, got some thyme, oregano. These are annual beds here. I got some different types of basil. They're just taking off. And here is more basil. Dill all over the place. Asparagus bed. And another garlic bed, and that's about it.